I'm out here today waving this camera around like some rusty old magic wand, the electric phallus of a spy out to pasture, to tell you about those days of my youth I like to call sex and bombs. I used to work in this factory that made dildos. We didn't always make dildos. What kind of life is that for a young man? Use them as much as you like, sure, but an entire workforce dedicated to the manufacture of simulated sex organs, you can forget it. Those cuntless bastards on Wall Street would rather have you making important stuff they can use. And that's what we were doing in the factory, making the most useful stuff of all, bombs. It was 1944 and there was a war on. And let me tell you, in those days, we knew how to throw a war. None of this high-tech, MySpace tit-clamp nonsense. I'm talking blood in gallon buckets here. Now, here's where I used to sneak away for lunch sometimes to masturbate when the boss wasn't around. So this factory was set up during the war to make bombs. I was a machinist. I should have been off in France kicking Jerry in the balls. But the enlisting officer took one look at my feet and stamped 4F all over me. What did he know? He was fat and old and otherwise useless to the wartime economy. We used to get drunk as preachers in here, take off our clothes and punch each other in the neck. I was 19, I was a machinist here, working in this bomb factory. It was Christmas of 1944, and while other people were making merry, buying toys for their fathers, and getting knocked up at the Great American Drive-In and whatnot, we were working around the clock, making bombs for old Jerry. Merry Christmas, motherfucker. We made enough bombs, why, you could fill an ocean with them, or a city, which is what they eventually decided upon, but I'll get to that in a minute. In here was the sloppiest collection of butt plugs you've ever seen. No guiding specifications whatsoever. Some were even metric. Now, this is where the Rosenthal twins knocked me down and made love to me like walruses jacked up on crystal meth. You can imagine me and about 100 war brides whose husbands were 5,000 miles away. How many babies ended up with my eyes, I'll never know. When I wasn't fucking or fighting off the clap, I would write things on the bombs as they came down the line. Dirty limericks, little pieces of poetry, a fatal haiku. There once was a girl from Dresden, had a crush on one of Adolf's yes-men. She tried to impress as she took off her dress and said, "Mein Führer looks just like a lesbian." And for 3 days in February of 1945, the Air Force dropped almost 7,000 tons of bombs on those bastards in Dresden. My jokes wiped out 124 office buildings. Limericks pulverized 6,000 stores and shops. My haikus leveled 57 hotels in flames. Puns fell like fiery demons from the sky and obliterated 71 churches. Cheap and tawdry innuendo rained death without mercy upon 19 hospitals and 39 schools full of those damn Nazi brats. Hell, I even flattened the zoo. But that was a long time ago, when I was 19, working at this factory that used to make bombs. After the war, things quieted down and we lost the government contract and were forced to make dildos. And yes, I wrote things on them, too.